Has someone you love started changing in subtle ways lately? Things that feel small but leave you wondering if something deeper is happening? Many of us imagine that aging, and even the end of life, comes suddenly like a light switch flipping off. But the truth is, for most people, the body begins sending quiet signals long before that final moment arrives. Gentle warnings that, if noticed, can help us prepare, emotionally and practically. The hardest part? These signs often feel so ordinary that we brush them off. A little weight loss, a bit more forgetful, a loved one needing to sit down more often. We tell ourselves it's just age catching up. But months later, looking back, many families realize the signs were there all along. By then, though, it may be too late to plan, too late to create those final, meaningful moments. That's why this video matters. Today, we'll gently walk through 5 of the most common signs that often appear in the last year of an elderly person's life. Some may sound familiar, some might surprise you, but together they form a picture, a way for you to better understand what may be happening beneath the surface that often appears in the last year of an elderly person's life. Some may sound familiar, some might surprise you, but together they form a picture, a way for you to better understand what may be happening beneath the surface. And here's the gift. Eliminating these signs early gives you the chance to act, to adjust how you care for your loved one, to treasure conversations while you still can, to create a sense of comfort and dignity so no one feels lost or alone in these final chapters. Stay with me, because knowing this, not guessing, but truly understanding, can change how you navigate what's ahead. Let's begin. Let's start with one of the earliest and most overlooked warning signs: unintentional weight loss. It often begins so quietly that families barely notice. A belt that suddenly needs a new notch, a favorite sweater hanging just a bit looser, meals left half finished. You might hear your loved one say, "I'm just not that hungry these days." And naturally we brush it off, telling ourselves, and naturally we brush it off, telling ourselves it's normal with age. But here's the truth. Losing weight without trying is rarely just aging. It's a message from the body that something deeper is shifting. You see, as we grow older, our ability to absorb nutrients weakens. Muscles that once carried us effortlessly through life begin to shrink, a condition called muscle wasting. And it's not just strength that fades. With each pound lost, the immune system weakens, balance becomes harder to maintain, and the risk of serious falls rises. There's also a profound shift happening inside the body, a slowing of the systems we rely on to survive. Digestion weakens. Protein, so essential for muscles and healing, becomes harder to process. Even the body's drive to eat fades, because deep down, the brain knows. It no longer needs as much fuel for the journey ahead. Add to this the impact of chronic illnesses, heart failure, kidney disease, undiagnosed cancers, all of which can quietly accelerate weight loss long before symptoms scream for attention. And then there's depression or early dementia, both of which rob a person of their desire to eat, creating a downward spiral that's hard to stop. Many families respond by urging loved ones to eat more, offering favorite meals or nutritional drinks. Sometimes it helps, but when the body is preparing for its final phase, even comfort foods may lose their appeal. That's why the focus must shift, from forcing food to offering comfort, small, nourishing bites, sips of water, meals that feel manageable, not overwhelming. Because at this stage, it's no longer about gaining weight. It's about preserving energy, dignity, and ease. If you've noticed your loved one growing thinner despite your best efforts, it's time to pause and listen to what their body's telling you. This is more than weight. It's a signal that change is coming. And understanding that now allows you to walk beside them with compassion for whatever lies ahead. Now here's a change that's hard to miss, but easy to misunderstand. A deep, persistent fatigue that no amount of rest seems to fix. We all get tired now and then, but this is different. It's the kind of exhaustion that makes getting out of bed feel like climbing a mountain. Tasks that used to be second nature, walking across the room, getting dressed, cooking a simple meal, suddenly feel too heavy to carry. Many families see this and think love their one is just slowing down with age. But the truth runs deeper. When the body begins its final chapter, it starts conserving energy, carefully choosing where to spend its limited reserves. And that means every small movement, every conversation becomes effortful. Inside, the heart may not be pumping as strongly. Oxygen doesn't reach the muscles the way it used to. Even simple things like standing can feel like hard work because the body is prioritizing survival, not activity. And emotionally, this fatigue takes its toll. Imagine being someone who prided themselves on independence, now feeling weak, unsteady, and frustrated. Many elders begin withdrawing, not because they don't care, but because they're too drained to keep up. You might see them nap more, sometimes for hours, yet wake up just as tired. You may notice them skipping family dinners, avoiding phone calls, or staying quiet during visits. It's not a lack of love. It's simply that engaging feels impossible. Some days the change is sudden. They're alert in the morning, and by afternoon, it's as if all their energy has disappeared. It can be heartbreaking to watch, but it's the body's natural way of shifting toward preservation. This is when many families instinctively push. Come on, just try to get up. You'll feel better if you move. But forcing activity doesn't work. What helps most is honoring their pace, allowing rest when it's needed, and understanding that being present is more important than pushing them to do more. If you're noticing this kind of unshakable fatigue, take it as a quiet message. Your loved one's body is changing, and in these moments, comfort, connection, and patience mean more than any task completed. Now here's something that often surprises families, because it doesn't happen overnight. Your loved one starts to fade, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally too. You might notice small things at first. They forget what day it is, repeat the same story, or lose track of conversations. Maybe they call you by the wrong name, or seem confused about where they are. It feels subtle, but over time, the changes grow. This isn't just forgetfulness. It's deeper than that. As the body slows down, so does the brain. Blood flow weakens, oxygen levels drop, and the mind begins to drift. One moment, they might seem clear. The next, they're lost in a fog. For many, it becomes harder to follow conversations. Loud rooms feel overwhelming. Even the simple decisions, what to wear, what to eat, feel impossible. So they started pulling back, not because they don't care, but because engaging feels exhausting. You might find them sitting quietly, staring at nothing in particular. Hobbies they once loved gather dust. Phone calls go unanswered. And soon, even family visits feel more like a one-way conversation. What's truly heartbreaking is how easily this is mistaken for stubbornness. Why won't they talk? Why are they acting like they don't care? But the truth is, they're still there. They're just retreating inside, where things feel safer and simpler. Sometimes mood changes come too. You might see flashes of irritation or moments of surprising calm. Some grow anxious. Others seem oddly peaceful. That's the brain adjusting as it prepares for what's ahead. And while words might fade, your presence still matters. A soft voice, a gentle touch, sitting quietly together. These moments reach deeper than any conversation. If you notice your loved one becoming more confused, quiet, or withdrawn, don't fight it. Instead, meet them where they are. Speak softly, stay close, and know that, even if they can't say it, they still feel your love. Now here's a sign that often gets overlooked, because it seems like ordinary illness. But when infections become frequent and wounds heal slowly, it's often the body's quiet way of saying it's struggling. Maybe your loved one, who rarely caught a cold, now seems to pick up every sniffle, cough, or going around. What used to be a minor infection, like a urinary tract infection or a small cut, now takes weeks to clear or keeps coming back. The reason? The immune system, which once fought hard to protect them, is now winding down. Fewer white blood cells, slower responses. Everything takes longer. Even the body's natural repair system weakens. Bruises linger, skin tears easily, and wounds stay open longer than they should. Sometimes the signs are subtle. Instead of a fever, you might notice them acting off, sleepier, less alert, or uninterested in food. For seniors, confusion or sudden fatigue can be the first sign of an infection, long before a thermometer shows anything. One woman, Nancy, shared how her 82-year-old mother seemed fine one morning, chatty, eating well. By afternoon, she was groggy and barely speaking. It wasn't obvious what was wrong. Only later did they learn she had a simple infection. But her body just couldn't fight it off anymore. And that's the hard part. Even with antibiotics or hospital care, recovery gets harder. The body simply doesn't bounce back the way it used to. At this stage, the goal shifts. It's less about chasing every cure and more about comfort, helping them feel clean, cared for, and safe, keeping the skin moisturized, watching for pressure sores, staying gentle with their fragile body. Because sometimes one more round of treatment only adds stress, while a calm hand, a warm blanket, or a quiet moment together brings far more peace. If you've noticed infections becoming more frequent or wounds that won't heal, it's time to pause and listen. The body is speaking, and what it needs most now is not another fight, but tenderness, dignity, and care. Now, there's one final change that's often the hardest to testify, but also one of the clearest signs the body is preparing for its final stage. Changes in breathing and circulation. It often begins gradually. You might notice your loved one breathing a little slower or faster. Their breaths become shallow, almost like they're not pulling in as much air as before. Sometimes there are even pauses between breaths, a pattern known as Cheney-Stokes breathing. It's where breaths come in cycles, deep, then light, then a pause, almost like the body is slowly learning to let go. You may also start seeing changes in their skin. Hands and feet grow cold. The fingertips or lips may develop a bluish tint. This happens because the heart, working harder now, starts prioritizing blood flow to the most vital organs. The body is focusing all its remaining energy where it's needed most. Simple tasks, sitting up, speaking, or even just turning in bed, may suddenly leave them out of breath. Some begin breathing through their mouth more often, needing more pillows to stay comfortable or preferring to sleep upright to ease that tight, heavy feeling in their chest. Fluid can also build up in the lungs, causing a soft gurgling sound when they breathe, a sound many families call the death rattle. It's not painful, but hearing it can stir deep emotions, making us feel helpless. In moments like this, it's natural to want to fix it. We find ourselves leaning in, urging them, just take a deep breath. But what's really happening is the body is slowing down, completely, naturally. At this stage, comfort becomes the priority. Cool air, a humidifier, gentle repositioning, all of these can help ease discomfort far more than medical intervention. If you notice these changes, irregular breathing, cold skin, or that faint blurrish tone, know this: it's the body's way of closing the circle. What matters most now isn't trying to change it, but being there, holding their hands, reminding them they're safe, loved, and never alone. As we come to the end of this conversation, I hope you're taking a deep breath, because what we've talked about isn't easy. Watching someone we love change, slow down, and prepare for their final journey, it's one of life's hardest lessons. But understanding these signs, the weight loss, the deep fatigue, the confusion, the infections, the changes in breathing and circulation, it's not about waiting for the end. It's about being prepared so we can meet this chapter with love, grace, and presence. Because when we know what's happening, we stop fighting against it. We stop pushing our loved ones to eat just one more bite or walk just a little further. Instead, we start focusing on what truly matters: their comfort, their dignity, and the memories we can still create together. The truth is, the final year of life isn't measured in months or days. It's measured in moments. The quiet conversations at their bedside, the gentle holding of a hand, the simple act of sitting together in silence. These are the moments that stay with us, long after the goodbye. And if you're facing this journey right now, know this: you're not alone. Many families have walked this path, feeling the same fear, the same helplessness, and the same deep love that you're feeling now. It's okay to grieve what's changing. It's okay to feel lost, but it's also okay to find peace in the little things. Reading their favorite book aloud, sharing an old story, or simply whispering, "I'm here, I love you." Because at the end of it all, it's not the big things we remember. It's the love, the presence, the knowing that we gave them everything we could, and that they were never alone. If this video helps you see things a little clearer, I'd love to hear from you. Share your thoughts or tell us about your own experience in the comments below. Your words might comfort someone else walking the same road. And if you find this helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. It helps us keep creating thoughtful content like this for families just like yours. Thank you for being here. Take care of yourself and those you love. Until next time. Before we end, I want to leave you with this reminder. Aging and the final stages of life are deeply personal journeys. They look different for everyone. And while the signs we've talked about today are common, they're not set in stone. What matters most is that we show up with empathy, with patience, and with love. It's not about fixing what can't be fixed. It's about making every remaining moment count. If you've recognized any of these changes in someone you love, I hope this video gave you clarity. Not to cause fear, but to give you the emotional strength to prepare, to make the necessary decisions, have the conversations you've been putting off, and be present in ways that truly matter, Because the truth is, we never regret the time we spent loving someone, supporting them, and being there. What we regret are the moments we were too busy, too distracted, or too scared to face what was happening. So today, if this touched your heart or helped you see things more clearly, I'd love to hear from you. Have you gone through this with a parent, a spouse, or a dear friend? Share your story in the comments. Your words might comfort someone else who needs it right now. And if you found this video helpful, please give it a like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need to hear this message. Your support helps us keep creating videos that bring light, comfort, and guidance during life's most difficult moments. Thank you for spending your time with me today. Take care of yourself and of those you love. Until next time, stay strong, stay kind, and hold on to the moments that matter most. As we reach the end of this video, I hope these insights have given you more than just knowledge, but also peace of mind. The truth is, recognizing these signs isn't about giving up. It's about being prepared, emotionally and practically, for a season of life that every family faces at some point. Significant weight loss, constant fatigue, moments of confusion, frequent infections, and those quiet changes in breathing and circulation, they aren't just symptoms. They're the body's way of gently signaling that it's slowing down. And while it's natural to wish we could reverse time, the greatest gift we can offer in these moments is love, comfort, and understanding. If someone you love is showing these signs, know this: you don't have to fix everything. Sometimes just being there, sitting quietly, holding their hands, listening to an old story, those simple moments become the ones we remember most. And please take care of yourself too. Supporting a loved one through this stage of life is not easy, but you are stronger than you think. Give yourself grace. If this video brought you comfort or helped you see things more clearly, I'd love to hear from you. Have you experienced something similar with a parent, a spouse, or a friend? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your story might help someone else who's walking the same path. And if you find this video valuable, please like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss future content designed to support, inform, and inspire you. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about adding more years. It's about filling the years we have left with connection, dignity, and thank you so much for watching. Until next time, take care of yourself and the ones you love.